Hi guys, how you lot doing? Hope you're all well. Alright, so this is the longer version of my rant for my grades and how it went at university. So I wanted to wait until I received this certificate just so that at least I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'll get anyone in trouble with this rant. I don't mention any names, but you know, I want to try and be honest and real and raw with. I think hopefully, you know, I'd like to be able to help out current students, future students, because yeah, I had some complexities. But this is my lovely certificate, first class honours with a bachelor's in engineering. That means that now I get to put Hamid Dean Adifour and then BEng next to my name, which is quite cool. Actually, at work, there's another engineer there that has BEng next to his name in his signature. It's actually my manager. And yeah, I want to put my BEng in my signature, so that's exciting. Can't wait to do that. So here is the actual individual markup of each of the different modules I did. So level 6, level 5, level 4, level 6 being third year, level 5 second year, and then level 4 first year. So yeah, we'll jump straight into the video. I actually went through and did my little rant before I got my certificate, but I wanted to just add this on in the beginning. So yeah, enjoy the video. And I don't feel as negative. I'll just say this up front. I don't feel as negative now that I've seen the certificate and I'm like, damn, like this is nice. Like, I like it. It's, look at this. Got a little shiny badge there, and then the little crest there, shiny. And you got a larger crest there. It's actually like quite legit. You got the Leeds Beckett University. I don't feel so bad. I wonder what this QR code scans actually. Hang on, let me just scan this QR code, see what it does. Okay, so you scan the QR code, and then I thought it would take me to, like, that would be sick if it took me to a digital copy of my certificate, but it just says some code and then Hamid D94 and then Bachelor's of Engineering, 14th of June 2022. So yeah, I don't know, but anyways, all right, into the video. I was waiting to get my degree certificate, but apparently it can take weeks and weeks. They're very slow with this kind of stuff. So I thought, you know, I have all of the grades for all of my modules so I can calculate my final result, and it ended up getting 77%. I haven't planned this video, so I'll just give you my raw thoughts about it, which, to be honest, I haven't had that much time to think about my grade. Since I've graduated and I've now started working as a control engineer, I'm now just in the world of, you know, control engineering, and all my thoughts are around that. So university is almost like a past life now. Like, it's just, when I was in it, I cared a lot, and I'll explain for one of my modules as well. Like, I got really angry. But anyway, so 77 out of 100 over 2 years, because my first year doesn't count. Second year was 25% and first year was 75%. So for my third year, my third and final year, which was 75%, I got 77.8%. And for my second year, I got 74.67%. And that was 25% weighted. That ended up getting me an overall of 77%. How do I feel about this 77%? If I'm honest, I mean, you can probably tell from my voice, I'm like that. Like, I'm very much, it's very meh, basically. That's how I would sum that up. Now, if you don't know, the grading system in the UK is basically, you have a first, which is 70% or above. You have a 2-1, which is 60% and above. And then you have a 2-2, which is 50% and above. And then you have a third, which is 40% and above, and that third is a pass. So anything above a third, above 40%, is a pass, which I have my own thoughts on this grading system. But what it seems to me like, and I don't know this, I mean, I might be talking on my backside here, but I don't know if it was just my university. So I went to a university called Leeds Beckett, which, I don't know if you could say like the budget version or the much lower ranked version uni in that city. So you have University of Leeds, which is the much higher ranked. So I could have got into that uni, and I did want to go there, but I thought that from my analysis, from picking universities, so I had Leeds Beckett versus University of Leeds, right? And my analysis was, this was all of the theory of engineering, and that's quite accurate, because I spoke to I know someone who just finished 3 years of electrical engineering there. His final year project was pure MATLAB simulations, really deep simulation stuff. So I didn't want to do any of that. And so my analysis there was kind of correct. I went to Leeds Beckett because I thought that's where I'd do, you know, really hands-on, actual using things, building things. And unfortunately, this uni now is trying to be that uni. So they're becoming like, I don't get it. I hate the whole like just in-depth theory stuff. So I'm working towards becoming chartered. I'm becoming a chartered engineer, which is going to involve a fair bit of theory. But again, even that, they ask you to prove competencies, which I'll do another video on. And a lot of it is very practical. So I very much want to be a practical engineer. Even in my job now, I'm currently soldering. So, you know, I very much want to be a hands-on, half my time on my computer and half my time in the real world. That's what I want to do. But anyway, so my point I was going to make with the 77% was that it seemed to me like they wanted to keep grades low. That's just my opinion. Because I went hard, and when I compare my work to previous years, and previous years got 70%, I don't know how I got 77%. I was expecting, if I got 85%, I would tell you right now today that was good. But I was hoping for above 90%. So for me to get 77%, yeah, it's all a first. It doesn't matter. You know, there's no upper first, lower first. It's all a first. So ultimately, all of my, you know, on my CV, it just says I got a first class degree. Great. But the fact that I got less than 90% hurts. The fact that I got less than 85% hurts a lot. Less than 80, man, like, okay, here's how I could describe it. I feel like probably I maybe put in, I don't know, I'm just gonna give you a random number, right? 2,000 hours. I'm guessing it was a lot more than that. I'm guessing it was way more than that, actually. But let's say I put in 2,000 hours and I got 77%, right? I feel like, honestly, I could have put in 400 hours instead and still got 70%. That's what I think about the uni. I feel like it's basically, they'll get you up to that 70%, but they don't want to go much higher. I don't know if there's like some sort of regulation or whatever, or like it's just suspect. Oh, you gave that guy 92%, and then it raises eyebrows. I don't know, but that's my opinion. So I'll cover that a bit more. Let's delve a bit deeper into the modules. So here's my results for my third year, second year, and then also first year. It feels right to start with first year, but I won't. I'll start with my third year because, to be honest, that's the most recent for me, and I don't know if I can remember most of my first year actually. So third year, let's go here. All right, so I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 modules: engineering, cost management and accounting, digital signal processing, production project, which counts as 2 modules because that's 40 credits instead of the 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. So you got basically one of the modules doesn't count, so that's how you do it. So you got like 20%, 20%, 40% weighting, 20%, and then doesn't count. So whichever module you do worst on, it doesn't count. You just need to pass it, right? Which, whatever. My approach was I just want to get 90% in all of them. Power electronics I enjoyed, but again it was all theory. It was just simulations theory. Didn't even see a motor. Didn't even, you know, touch any sort of three phase or any, like, no voltage basically. I don't think even in the whole of university we even touched. Did we even go above 5 volts? I don't think so. 9 volts, that was it. In my first year I had a 9-volt battery, which is ridiculous if you think about it. Electronics, electrical engineering, and I never even came close to any. I didn't even come close to 12 volts, which is, yeah. Anyways, let me give a quick ranking, or I'll tell you what. I mean, you guys should. Okay, so engineering, cost management and accounting was basically. Let me just give my mind. Where was we? Oh yeah, we had to come up with a business proposal around a circular economy. So we came up with a modular phone that you would be able to upgrade yourself, or the company can upgrade for you. And so I ended up writing a full life cycle assessment, LCA. And so that module, I put in a ridiculous amount of hours. But what happened here is it was a case study of 40%. Is that 40%? I don't know if that's true. I feel like it was 50-50 to be honest with you. It's got 40-60. I feel like it's 50-50. But regardless, I wrote an amazing report, man. And the life cycle assessment that I did was ridiculously detailed. And I got given 56% for it, which honestly just blows my mind. Like, there was no way anyone else's report was anywhere near close to mine. And I followed the spec to a T. And this module here, I was fuming when I got my grade. So I ended up getting 61% overall in that module. And I was fuming. I emailed my tutor and I was like, can I appeal? And I just started looking at the appeal process. And to be honest with you, the appeal process is a joke. They basically say, if you have any sort of disagreement with academic judgment, who cares? You can't do anything about it. You cannot disagree with academic judgment. And that's it. So whatever grade they give you, they give you. And then the worst part about this was the case study. We had a group presentation, and the tutor here, he said, do a presentation 3 to 5 minutes. Everyone else went before us. All of their presentations were 20 plus minutes. And we did ours in 3 to 5 minutes. And I was like, look, you said 3 to 5 minutes. Everyone's just gone on for 20 minutes. Are we now going to hit the marking scheme that you want us to hit compared to everybody else? Or are we going to get marked down for it? And he said no. Then he ended up giving, was it 68%? I don't know. Digital signal processing, if I'm honest, was ridiculously difficult. Mate, the amount of basically you do things like moving point averages to like unblur an image, and you look into like FPGAs, use MATLAB, do like Fourier analysis. It's complicated. The module itself was quite disjointed. None of it kind of really went together. Just basically a lot of theory. If I'm honest with you, I expected to do worse. I expected to do worse than that, and I got 67%. So, you know, is what it is, whatever. I'm happy with digital. Production project, again, this was amazing. And to be fair to the guys that marked me, both of them, my tutor and another lecturer, amazing guys, honestly. And so I got 85% for my first report, which was 10% of the module. Then I got 95% for my demonstration, which is my solar charge controller, which, you know, this is what I expected. And the fact that they gave me that 95%, you know, props to those two. Honestly, absolutely amazing lecturers. Honestly, amazing guys. I actually do need to email them just to thank them as well, to say, you know, it's nice to be acknowledged for the ridiculous amount of work I did for that. Like, I spent probably over £600 on my production project and a stupid amount of hours, you know. So it's nice to get 95%. And then my report, 75%, I expected better, to be honest with you. One thing that sucked about that was, you know, this is your final year project, but you have to summarize it all in 6,000 words, which that was just, the amount that I cut out from that report was like cutting off limbs off my body. So power electronics, amazing subject. I absolutely love it. I really would love to I would love to work in power electronics. Just power electronics, power factor, total harmonic distortion, transformers, love all of that. Motors, three phase, oof, love it. Unfortunately, it was all just theory, and this showed when on my second week of work, I had a three phase motor in front of me, and the guy that was training me was like, well, how'd you wire it? And I was like, damn, mate, I could tell you how to do it in freaking multisim, but as for doing it in the real world, no clue, mate. And then he was talking to me about star delta configurations. Thankfully, I just watched a YouTube video on it, but we didn't cover any of that. What we did was very small scale power electronics. So we did buck converters, boost converters, buck boost, half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier, that kind of stuff. I would have loved to have done this in my second year, and then another more in-depth motors, larger things third year. That would have been brilliant. So anyways, I got 81% on that. And engineering control, again, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get anyone in trouble in terms of, like, hopefully no one from my university is watching this, and I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But man, so I'm a control engineer right now, right? And everyone I've shown my PLC work to was very impressed. My PLC program, I got lumped into a group project for control, and again, I don't want to get people in trouble, but the other guys on my team, one of them created a HMI that wasn't working and didn't do anything. The other two made some tags, and I mean, I'm going into some sort of detail that most of you won't understand. But basically, they made a graphical user interface as well as they writ some. If you know about code, they just writ like they declared some variables. Basically, I made a full simulation in Flexim. Honestly, amazing software. And on top of that, I also did an amazing job on the PLC and had analog and digital inputs and outputs. I had a motor simulating a fan cooling system. It was ridiculous the amount that I did, and the fact that I got 63% for the practical and 74% for my report. I was just like, man, honestly, I was so like when I got this grade of 69%, I was pissed off. I was just like, you know what? What is the point? And honestly, I would say if you go to Leeds Beckett, I wouldn't recommend going 100%. That's just that would be my honest advice to someone. Just go for the 70% because that seems to me like there's, like my opinion. Obviously, I'm incredibly biased. I put in a lot of effort into these modules, and it feels wasted if I'm honest with you. Other than the production project, and again, you know, I don't want to mention lecture names because if one of my lecturers, previous lecturers, watches this, or someone from Leeds Beckett watches this and then goes to specific lecturers, I don't want them to start saying, you know, well, this was aimed directly at you. So, you know, but these two that marked this, I feel like if you put in effort with them, they'll give you proper marks. Because as an example, right, I'm not going to point at any one of these modules, but I said to one of my lecturers for one of these modules, is there anything I could have done better? The answer was no, right? Nothing I could have done better. So how did you give me less than 75%? Explain it. It just, that kind of, you know what I would say, yeah? When I said in the beginning that I've kind of considered this my past life, that's one of the reasons why. Like, I'm just like, thinking about university just makes me mad. Because, firstly, 95% of what I learned, I had to learn myself off of YouTube. And shout out to all of those Indian guys on YouTube, because them lot are the ones that got these grades, not me. Because I put in a ridiculous amount of time learning from them. So, really, I should have paid my $9,000 a year to the Indian guys on YouTube. But yeah, so, alright, I've waffled on for too long now. Let me just touch on my second year and first year. Just, second year was COVID, so it was messy, very, very messy. But embedded systems, 63%, analog electronics, 81%, which is, this embedded systems, again, is, anyways, you know, when I compare, you know, my work compared to my friends, so embedded systems, I've got a video on my channel where I go through, I'm using an STM32 board, one of these, I'm using one of these, and I literally built what they wanted me to build to a T, an amazing clock alarm kind of system I made. And when I compare it to what everyone else did, how I got the same grade, 63%, I'm thinking you didn't read my report. You didn't. You're just like, looks cool, 63%. No one will bat an eyelid to that. And there is that kind of, I think I think it might be a Leeds Beckett thing whereby it's like one of those lower ranked universities where most of the students don't care. Most of them aren't passionate. Most of them could care less as long as they pass. And even the crazy thing is when the lecturers are talking, they will be saying things like, they never say, you know, you want to, actually, I'll correct that. One of the lecturers, again, I don't want to point names, but I feel like it's like I should praise the people that did it right, and then at the same time dispraise the guys who didn't. But I'm not going to. One of them, anyways, one of my lecturers was like, what are you doing? Push for 90%, push for 100%, you know, try your absolute best. The rest of them were kind of like, it'd be great if you know, pass the module. It's very important to pass the module. Bear in mind, pass is 40%. Yeah, just pass the module, you know, you want to pass the module. So, anyways, does my head in. So embedded systems was using STM32s, which I did a couple videos on. Embed, I actually really enjoyed it. The fact that I got 63% was a kick in the teeth, whatever. Analog electronics, absolutely loved it. This was using inductors and capacitors. Again, I can't criticize second year too much because it was COVID, so everything was online. And I don't know how it would have been different if we would have been in university and if we would have actually used physical components. But the fact that I have never in my life used an inductor is not a good thing. An electronics engineer, and I've never used an inductor. I actually bought some inductors and I don't even know how to use them, to be honest with you. But I can do all of the calculations for you. Instrumentation and control. Again, I actually really enjoyed this module. 68%. Just, what can I say? Electrical and electronic principles 2 was all AC analysis. I enjoyed that. Again, it was very difficult for me. The maths was hard for me. 71%. Engineering design project 2. This was a shame because I was supposed to use a Lego Mindstorm robot and program that in C and get it to pick up items and identify like object detection. Unfortunately, because of COVID, I ended up doing a project on Mars rovers and just basically doing a presentation on the Mars rover. So this had so much potential. This module here, engineering design project 2 and engineering design project 1 here, which is where I did my line following robot. I got 87% on that one as well. But yeah, these two modules was the reason I went to Leeds Beckett, and it was such a shame that COVID hit and that module basically got scrapped and we just had to just do a little presentation on the Mars rover. So that was a big shame. And in communication systems, if I'm honest with you guys, I never want to go anywhere near communication systems. Now, there is a thing where it's like, it's the way you're taught kind of thing. And I'm okay with it, like 5G. I'm okay with Nyquist theorem sampling. You have to sample at 2 times the rate. Bandwidth. I'm okay with these kind of things. I know enough to talk about them, but they're boring and I never want to go anywhere near them. So I got 53%. I was kind of more just on a downer, being stuck at home, and I was just eating loads of pizza, and my kids wanted to go out, but we was like unable to go to park. So I was like in a bit of a depressed state. So I didn't do that well. And I kind of have negative emotion attached towards that module just because of that. But, I'm okay with it. I'm not saying I wouldn't mind doing some communication stuff, but I'd rather avoid it. Okay, that's my second year. So overall, second year, I ended up getting, I got 77%, 77.8% on my third year, and second year I got 74.67%. And then first year, I actually loved it. First year, I remember when I started in my electrical electronics principles 1, and they were talking about atoms, and then they were talking about Ohm's law. I was like, this is Chinese, man. I don't understand any of what he's talking about. Ohm's law. He keeps saying ohms. What is ohms? So I went from that to, at the end of my first year, feeling like an absolute boss. I felt like, I just felt like I'd kill it. So I had computers and engineering, 88%. I put in a fat amount of effort into that. And the thing is, this is what's crazy. So what was said to me here about this engineering cost management and accounting, this module here, when I complained, because I had a group project and the other guys in my group, they decided, so it was 4 of us, 3 of them decided that, how I said you don't have to do one of the modules, you only have to get a pass. So the other 3 guys in my group decided halfway through that this would be the module that they were just going to just pass and get 40% on. So they literally didn't do hardly anything. Their reports were terrible. They put in no research, nothing into this module. So I'm left with like the mentality that, no, I want to get 90%. And so what happened was their lack of effort brought down my grade down to, the 61%. And then when I complained about it, it was like, well, it's a group effort, is what it is. Take it on the chin. Contrasting that to computers and engineering, when it was a group effort between 3 of us, the other 2 guys were completely weak at programming. They didn't learn programming, versus, so they were like, on for loops and if statements. Their whole program was for loops and if statements. I had structures in my code. I was reading arrays. I was reading and writing to documents in C. I was calling functions and I was using pointers. Literally in my first year in C in that project. And instead of the lecturer being like, well, you're in a group and the other 2 guys, they can't program. So your whole project is actually dependent on their grade as well. And so we have to mark you down. Bullshit. Right? He was like, no, you done an amazing job. 88%. He gave me 90% on my report, 83% on tests, which is what we did in class. So that was kind of before I did the actual program. But yeah, so made a banking app, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And to get 88%, again, amazing. Systems and data acquisition. I was like, when I was doing this, I was like, what a pointless module. I didn't understand the point of the module. We was doing things like transducers, thermistors, these kind of things. But now with work, this is actually what I do: engineering systems and data acquisition. Literally, I was talking to my boss today about this. So I wish I had a better understanding of why this was important. And I think that can go through to every single module. Lecturers will never explain to you why what they're teaching you is important. They just start teaching, basically. And I didn't pay much attention to this. I enjoyed it. I got 77% on it. But now, like, I'm like, damn, man, that was a good module. So yeah, principles 1 was obviously just DC analysis, which I actually enjoyed, man. You know, it's all those things like nodal, you know. If you have, I don't know, do you remember like mesh analysis, nodal analysis, when you're gonna like analyze a node or whatever? I can't remember. You do like these loops or whatever. Nodal analysis, mesh analysis. It's quite good, man. I remember that. I enjoyed that module. Digital electronics. We kind of got shafted with COVID right at the end of this. I remember this, but this was good doing using 7-segment displays and that kind of stuff. What do you do in digital electronics? Can't really remember, but anyways, I'm good at digital electronics, so I got 83% on that. And then computer systems architecture. This was a good one, using Raspberry Pis and ARM processors, and was programming literally in assembly, you know, using move instructions and that kind of stuff. So 83% again on that. So I did very well in my first year. I don't know what I got overall: 88, 77, 81, 87, 83, and 83. So what's that overall? I can't be asked calculating it. Anyway, so I'm gonna go with, it's, you know, it's over 80% in it. So first year was my best year, basically, and I did enjoy it. But one thing I would say as well is that I'm very happy I went to university. It cost me a lot of money. I paid it all off with no debt, thankfully. I was working full-time whilst doing uni, and so overall, I'm happy. I don't feel like I was rewarded for my effort, and if I could do it again, the one thing I would do is I would spend more time with my family and kids. I would spend more time outside. I'd spend more time in the gym, and I'd put in less effort into this, which is a shame, really. And the only thing I can hope is that as I move forward in my career, I hope that that effort I put into university comes back to reward me later on in life. That's my hope, basically, because getting 77%, I don't feel like I was rewarded at all. 85%, I would have said yes. And 90%. And again, you know, everyone I've spoken to about this says to me, why does it matter, Hamid? You got 70%. But for me, it's a pride thing, you know. And it's a reward effort thing. It's a bit like saying, you know, you work ridiculously harder than everybody else in your workplace, but you're paid the least. And not only do you work harder than them, but you actually you outperform them, right? So you're more productive, you make more money for the company than everybody else in your workplace, but you get paid less. How do you feel? The answer is not good. And although I didn't get paid less, so to speak, you know, I doubt anyone at university, in my university, got higher than me. And if they did, I don't know what the hell happened there. But if they did get higher than me, that would hurt me even more. Let me not even think about it. If you went to my university, don't comment down below if you got higher than me. But yeah, I don't feel like I was rewarded. So would I recommend going to university to do electronics and electrical engineering? Absolutely, definitely. Everyone should go. Like, you know, if you have the ability to be an engineer and you're into this kind of stuff, do it, man. Absolutely. Would you go to, would I say recommend Leeds Beckett? No, definitely not. Don't. I would go to, if I could do it again, I'd go to University of Leeds. I've spoken to some guys that went there, and them lot there, granted it's, I would say, a lot more harder. They actually were able to get 95% and 92% and stuff like that. And, you know, again, it doesn't matter. And that's why, you know, I'm not following through on any sort of appeals or anything. There's no point appealing and, you know, getting people in trouble. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. Do you know what I mean? But that is, in my opinion, crap. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye bye.